And then I started receiving telepathic communication by the king, and he was telling me, I know where you've been. I know that you have been in the arcs, and I need to talk to you. So I told the map guys that, hey, he needs to talk to me, and it needs to be me and him only. And he's like, well, no, we're not leaving you by yourself here. And whatever he needs to say with us. So the king does like this, and the guards grab the guys behind me and push them back. And I'm like, yo, I don't want no problem here. He just needs to talk to me about something that happened with another mission that I've been to. And he's like, all right, we're gonna leave him. We're gonna leave him here. Okay, all right. And he just went to the back, and they put the other 7 guys into a room. So the king sits down, and I see his face. His eyes are brownish, and his pupil is huge, black, but his eyes are huge, but it's like brownish, like clearish brown. Really nice. It hypnotizes you when you look at him in the eyes. And I looked at him straight in the eyes, and I just got on one. I felt like getting on one knee, and I got on one knee, and I said, yes, Your Majesty. And he's like, we're going to start going up, and people are going to start seeing more of us. And he told me to say that they're going to start teaching on Earth what they used to teach to other cultures. And that they're going to make the decision to some people if they want to go to where their cavern is. They decide if they want to come there. So he wants people to visit more of these parks, these massive forest parks, because they're going to open the opportunity for people to visit their cavern systems and let them to decide if they want to stay there and live there, because the arcs are getting ready to build up heat. And when they build heat, they're going to resurface.
You're listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla, your source for the uncensored truth regarding the human, extraterrestrial, global, and political agenda. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And now, here's Dr. Michael Salla.
Well, I'm very happy to have JP back on Exopolitics today in the new year. Happy New Year, JP.
Happy New Year. I hope everybody's having a nice 2023. Amazing how the years pass.
It is amazing. And for those that aren't aware, JP serves with the US Army, and he's been describing several of the missions that he has been on. And one of those missions, he described going to an underground civilization in Florida where he saw a giant being guarded and protected by these ant people. So he recently had another mission, a new mission, where he encountered the ant people in another facility. So JP, why don't you tell us what happened with this new mission?
We were training in the field, right? And we got picked up by 3 buses, a total of 8 people. We had a guy that was really good of getting like the grid, the coordinates, the points of a map. So we had one guy, basically everybody in the military knows how to do that. But there's always a particular person that's better in doing it, and it's really dedicated in doing it, So he was with us. He knew where we're going. I didn't know personally where I was going, but we got picked up by 3 vans, right? They were Mercedes white vans. They're, a little bit higher than regular vans. And we got picked up by 3 vans. And these vans, they were taking different routes, right? To go to this location that we were going to, this field location. It was exactly like 40 minutes away to this field that we were going to. And inside the vans, the guy that was driving had bags, black bags inside the van in the corner. And in each van, there was 3, 3, and 2. So there was a total of 3 vans. In each van, there was 3 people, and then another van, 3 people, and then another van was 2. I was in a van where the 2 people were. That was me and the map dude, the coordinate guy, the guy that does the admin and all that. So he says, "Oh, we're going to this location." We were actually doing land nav that day, and while doing land nav, the vans came in and they picked us up. If you're familiar what land navigation is, the military does that. The Air Force, the Army, Marines, we do land navigation to practice. We do a grid, we do points, and we practice how to do land nav. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun. We did that, and then we got picked up by the van. And the guy that was driving, he's like, "Hey, there's a bag over there." And I'm like, "Okay, what we're gonna do with this bag?" Because we're wearing our green OCPs and all that. And when we see the bag, it's we open it up, and it's a uniform. It's a black OCPs, tactical type of black OCPs. And he says, "Go change."
What does OCP stand for?
Operational camouflage pattern.
Okay, so it's an acronym that the Army uses for the gear that they wear.
Yeah. We get a black type of OCPs, right? And we change, we put our boots on, we blouse them. And it took me like 10 to probably like 15 minutes to change. So this was like a 40-minute drive, and it took us like 10 or 15 minutes to change into those clothes. So we take our green OCPs off and we put the black ones on. And we're changing, and I'm asking the map dude, "Hey, where are we going? Where are we going?" "Oh yeah, there's this place that we're gonna meet up with this guy, and he's waiting for us in this field." And while we're changing, I'm talking to him, trying to get information. What we're gonna do, what's happening. And he's like, "Oh no, yeah, we're just going to this field, and just come. You're coming with us, and you know about these people." And it already clicked that we're going to deal with the ant people, with these type of people that look like their face are more slender than ours. Their eyes are a little bit bigger. They got hair that's like a dreaded hair that looks like in one, like they look like antennas. Yeah, we were gonna visit these type of people in this field. So we were heading to this field, and then we got to this field, and there was a Black Hawk helicopter following our van, and I could hear it. You can hear it, the vibration of the helicopter following us. So we're going through the back roads to this field, and we got there first. We're already dressed up. We had to wear a mask. We wear the mask, and the mask had this glass that is connected to it that turns to like AR type of technology that we have, augmented reality technology. It's kind of cool. It tells you the temperature, it tells you where you're at in the map, and the name of the area that you're at. So it's kind of cool. And the other vans came up, and the people came out dressed in uniform. The only person that I knew and I saw his face was the guy that was with me, that was changing with me. But the other guys, the other 6 guys that came in the other vans, I did not see their face. So everybody gets out the van, and the helicopter is there, and we were not really like in charge. We're gonna meet somebody that we're gonna follow. So everybody has their specialty. So nobody was exactly in charge, but the one that was in charge was the map dude. He was a higher ranking guy that was there, and whoever is higher ranking, he's there. We do what we're told, and we follow this particular guy. So I was with him, and he was a high ranking officer. So we go in, and we're in this field, and we're checking the area, making sure everything is good. The helicopter stayed like 2 minutes hovering over us, and was scoping the area, and then the helicopter left. Once the helicopter left, they radioed to the drivers of the vans to leave as well. So they left as well, and they radioed back saying, all we saw was deer and hogs. You guys are good to go." So the reason the helicopter stays in a stationary location in the air is to see if there's anybody following us in these missions. So it was there like for 2 minutes. We were scoping the area and we were waiting. We had just 22s on us. That's it. We were there in the field by ourselves. The guy started doing the mapping, the grid, and he's like, "Okay, this way. Let's go. Come on, let's move it." So we started walking and tactically into the woods. We we saw a family of hogs, and everybody was scared. But we kept walking, and we stopped, right? And I was like, okay, we stopped here. We walked like for 15, I think 15 minutes. It was a couple miles. So we get to this location, right? And he says, "Oh, come over here and come behind me." The guy with the map said, and we get behind him, and there was like a bush right in front of us, right? This bush looked like spread out to the floor, but it was a bush. And then he he blows his whistle. He blows like this whistle made of wood. And I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And it's a high pitch whistle, like a really high pitch. And he just blows it, and he blows it 3 times. And when he blows it 3 times, the ground shook a little bit. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? Everybody's like, oh shit, what the hell? You know? And then when that happened, the Black Hawk helicopter passed by once. And we saw it, and it passed by once. And then it passed 2 times. And then it passed a third time, and it hovered for 2 more minutes. And after it hovered, he radioed to the map dude, and said, "Hey, you guys are good to go. Out." Boom, the helicopter flew out, and just freaking went really fast, the Black Hawk. And after he left, I don't know if you guys ever seen the call it. It's the spiders that opens hatches to grab their food. It's it's like a hatch. It's a round hatch that is on the floor. It had a bush, and it opened up when the helicopter left. So there's a spider species, right? They have these hatches that open up. So it's just like the same thing. It opened up. It is super camouflage. Like you can walk on it. I asked the weight of this hatch that opens up is like around 400 to 500 pounds. So it has a mechanism that opens up. And once the helicopter passed by, that hatch opened up like this. And it opened up, and it let go this this not steam, but this hot air, like a poof towards us. And we were like, whoa, holy crap, what the hell is this? And this hatch just opened up like that, and it has steep stairs that goes in, and then the map guy said it's through here, and then he just put the map away, and we just walked down these type of stone stairs that were there. These stairs look like they've been there for years, but it's like a marble type of looking stairs, so they're cool looking. We had the headlamps on. We were walking down, and it had a smell of when you feed the cows some hay, you feed the cow hays, that smell in the farm. That when you're feeding the cow hay, that's the same smell that you smell when you're going into this cave system. This hatch opens, and then we started walking down, and the other guy was like, "Oh shit!" And we looked back, and the hatch was closing, and you could feel when it closes, you could feel your ears like pop, like like it sucks the air out and in. And we're like, oh crap, we're effing stuck here. The other guy was saying behind me, the map guy said, no, we're okay, we're good. Let's keep going, come on, keep going. So there was no way going back to that same area. And we lost all radio communication once that hatch closed. So it was a 15 by 15 round hatch. You know, it's a good size.
When you say 15 by 15, what are we saying? 15 feet?
Yeah, 15 feet by 15 feet. We're going in one by one. But then when you go in, it opens like to 20 by 20. So it gets bigger. But the hatch itself is 15 by 15.
And did the stairs, did they look like they were designed for normal height humans?
Yeah. They look like they were designed by normal height humans. They told us that they have these hatches everywhere around the United States, especially in forests, parks, and they have these hatches everywhere that opens up and close. Is quite interesting. These camouflage hatches that they have. And we were walking down, and we walked down like for like 10 minutes, and then it straightened out. And then we went down again, like for 10 minutes, straightened out. And then we started seeing the lighting. They had torches. We started seeing this blue, like whitish torches every 30 feet. And we kept going down. We went down like 5 times. Went down, straight, down, straight, down, straight, down, straight. And we kept smelling the hay type of smell, like if it was like a farm type. And then we get down to this big door, similar to the door where the giant was. It was a similar door, and they had these 2 beings there, the 2 ant people there in robes waiting for us. And they nodded their head. They nodded twice, and they did a gesture with their hands, and the door opened, and we entered into this huge cave system. In the middle of the cave system, you can see a spring in the middle of it. So beautiful, so blue. There was a lighting, a lot of torches all around the cave system, like torches. It looked like a medieval time type of place. In the middle of the cavern, they had a big torch that was burning. There was a liquid. There was like a tube that looked like a wood that was coming out from the middle, and it was dripping. I think it was like oil, a type of oil that kept this big, huge torch in the middle of the place burning. But it's like a bluish white torch. It was beautiful color, bright, really bright. And then you had these little torches all the way around, and they look like little houses, and you see small kids like walking around, people our height walking around, but they had that physique, the skinny face and the big eyes and the dreads hair that looked like antennae. And they were just walking around, and I noticed that there was a lot of dogs, a lot of cats, a lot of domesticated animals that we have up here that they do have as well, just walking around and barking at us. And we were like confused. We were like, wow, there's a lot of dogs here. A lot of they had domesticated hogs. They had hogs that they kept in not cages, but in like barn looking areas. And it was huge. It was like probably like 15 football field big, like huge. You could see as far as you can see. And we saw like the spring in the middle. You could see like the fishes swimming in these springs. It was interesting. So they took us to this road, right? It looked like a dirt road. And on the sides, we could see round windows type of holes that these people were looking back to us. And they were just covering their kids not to see them, closing their windows when we were walking by, like if they never saw a human before. And we saw a couple humans there as well, working with these ant people, and they had beers. They had a robe, just like their robe. Their hands were not dirty, but you could tell that they were not bathing. We looked at them, and I spoke out and said, "Hey, you speak English?" And they just look at us like weird, like they just stared at us. I saw at least 30 humans with beards or females. We saw a family of humans with kids that did the same thing. When we passed by, they did the same thing. They closed the windows, but they were human looking people. So there's human mingled with these ant people working with them. And I asked the guy behind me, I said, "Hey, who do you think these people are with these guys?" And he's like, "Oh, bro, me personally, I think they decided to come down here. I guess they were lost, and out of nowhere, they decided to come down here, and they've been here so long that they forgot what was up there. They made their life here. So these people, there's people that I guess get lost in these forests, in these parks, and they make their way in these cave systems, right? And the ant people, they take them. They take them, and then like 20 to 30 years passes by, and they have kids, and these kids, they grow up there, and it's normal for them to be living there. So a lot of missing people decide to go down into this cave system, and they decide to stay there because they live for a long time.
JP, can I just interrupt you there? When you say a lot of missing people go into these cave systems, I mean, are we talking about them accidentally coming across these covers that you described, 15 by 15, or they're forcibly taken down there? And if so, by who?
I think it opens and they wander in there, and it closes, and it's really hard to get out. But when they make it to these doors and they see these ant people, I'm sure they're scared. I'm sure they just show them the way, I guess. But I don't think they're forcibly there, because I got to talk to one of these humans that were there, and he was living in the streets somewhere in the United States. And he decided to go to this forest, and he saw it open, and they took him in. So most are people that live in the streets, or maybe even people that probably got lost and could not make it out. And the ant people just welcomed them into their culture or taught them. And these people, they live like to 200 to 150 years old with the medicine that these ant people have. And he was telling me about, they believe about the light. They believe that we're energy. Their belief system is that everything is connected, that everything is alive, that everything is a god. That's their belief, that everything is a god for them. So they treat everybody the same, and they treat everybody with love, because it's an energy that everybody has, and they have to share it. So it's that type of belief system that they have, and that's why everybody's together, working united. And I saw them eating corn. So they have these caps, these trap doors, right? The TDs. They have these trap doors that open everywhere. Cornfields, you got it's everywhere. So that's how they teach. They taught the Indians, all these cultures that live in different places. They got taught by these ancient ant people this information and this type of living. So
I know in there are many Native American legends talking about the ant people giving refuge to the people of the different tribes or worlds as they came to an end, that the Native Americans were given refuge. So it sounds like this is one of those places where earlier generations of Native Americans were given refuge during times of surface cataclysms.
So these are probably people that their family members, they lived in the 1500s, or 16 or 7, even early American developers that came here from, from overseas, from the 17 or 1800s, that found these cave systems, and they never resurfaced and had kids, and all the kids know is that type of lifestyle under the ground, and they never resurfaced or nothing like that. So we kept walking, and they took us to this big cavern, right? And there was a ant person. He was sitting down. He had robe, and he had a crown on him. We're like shocked and confused, like, what the hell is this? Your Majesty. We didn't know how to react. And then you had guards, ant people guards, guarding the door. And then you had a type of shofar that they were blowing in the back. Two ant people blowing the shofar and welcoming us into the room. And we stop. And then the map guy, he says, Your Majesty. And the ant guy that was wearing the crown, he stands up. He's like, yes, he speaks English. I'm like, holy crap, what's happening here? And the map guy, he was asking if the giant was okay. And he said that information is not no more to be given to us, and that the giant was about to wake up. The reason they want to bring us down here is that they're telling us that the giants are about to wake up, and for us not to intervene with them in the mission that they're supposed to do. And I look at the map dude. I said, hey, now what's the reason? And then I started receiving telepathic communication by the king, and he was telling me, I know where you've been. I know that you have been in the arcs, and I need to talk to you. So I told the map guy, I said, hey, he needs to talk to me, and it needs to be me and him only. And he's like, well, no, we're not leaving you by yourself here. And whatever he needs to say it with us. So the king does like this, and the guards grab the guys behind me and push them back. And I'm like, yo, I don't want no problem here. He just needs to talk to me about something that happened with another mission that I've been to. And he's like, all right, we're gonna leave him. We're gonna leave him here. Okay, all right. F this. This is bullshit. And he just went to the back, and they put the other 7 guys into a room. So the king sits down, and I see his face. His eyes are brownish, and his pupil is huge, black, but his eyes are huge, but it's like brownish, like clearish brown. Really nice. It hypnotizes you when you look at him in the eyes. And I looked at him straight in the eyes, and I just got on one. I felt like getting on one knee, and I got on one knee, and I said, yes, Your Majesty. And he's like, we're going to start going up, and people are going to start seeing more of us. And he told me to say that they're going to start teaching on Earth what they used to teach to other cultures, and that they're going to make the decision to some people if they want to go to where their cavern is. They decide if they want to come there. So he wants people to visit more of these parks, these massive forest parks, because they're going to open the opportunity for people to visit their cavern systems and let them to decide if they want to stay there and live there, because the arcs are getting ready to build up heat. And when they build heat, they're going to resurface. The arc also in the moon is getting hot as well. So the king was asking me to tell everybody that is hearing that soon that they're going to get the opportunity to visit these caverns. So a lot of people are going to be coming out with experiences of visiting these caverns with these people. So that was quite interesting, Doc.
So we're talking about the ant people saying that 2 things are going to be happening this year, more of it, that the ant people are going to be making contact with more and more people, showing them their underground facilities, and that the arcs are going to start to activate as in terms of heating up, and eventually they're going to just start being seen, that they're going to, we're talking about them actually just floating and people seeing them all over the earth.
Mm-hmm. There's a particular arc that has these small ships. People are going to be seeing more of these small ships flying up and doing recon to see how these big ships are going to go up and be shown. And I think it's going to come out all over the place, this information. We know what's happening around the world and what's happening. And the king, he gave me this kind of crystal looking thing. And he's like, hold this. And he grabs it from the side. He had it in the side. So it was like a crystal. And then it had like a copper type of metal wrapping around it, like in a spiral. And when you hold this, Doc, you feel a vibration around your body. And he says, you know what you're feeling there? And I was like, what am I feeling here? This is amazing. He says, you're feeling healing around your body. So he made me hold this type of technology that can heal you. It felt like electricity, a charge. And he's like, this is really, you should bring this up. And I'm like, man, if you give me the opportunity to bring it up, I'll bring it up. He's like, let the other soldiers come in. So the other soldiers come in, like pissed off. It's like, hey, what did he tell you? I said, I'm going to tell you everything. Don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you everything that he told me. And we go from there. We're here all here together. So the king tells them what he told me, just to be in the safe, but he wanted to tell me first what he felt and what was going to be happening. And he gave this device to the map guy. So the map, we have this device. The crystal was round. It looked like a crystal ball, but it just had copper like wrapped around it, like a type of metal that looked like copper wrapped around it. It was more like goldish copper. It wrapped around it, and he gave it to the map dude. I said, well, in my mind, I said, why not to me? And then the king is like, he knows where it's gonna go. Your mission is for something else. I'm like, okay, my mission is for something else. It's always for something else. So I'm like, shit, all right, cool. So he takes it, he puts it in the bag, and we start going out, and we see again like these dogs running around and barking at us, and we start going through another area, and this other area was turning more tropical looking. So they have tropical, they have dry areas, they got water, marsh, they got all types of area under these cavern systems. They travel through caverns around the United States, and it's like they walk. They have like a highway of just people with bags and walking back and forth with just the torches. Like it's a tunnel that you can see as far as you can, and you walk. They walk for days to other caverns, and they just walk like back and forth to different caverns, and they got different cultures. It's kind of cool. So they take us to another place, and a hatch opens. We go up the stairs, we do all that, and they take us more, and we ended up more south, like 3 hours more south than where we began. So we got out from the hatch, and he called it in, the grid point where we're at. Our electronics, everything started working again. The Black Hawks, they picked us up. One stayed stationary for 2 minutes, lower down, we got on, we left. The other ones got picked up by the other helicopter, other Black Hawk, and we made it back. So that mission really, really, really touched me in a particular way, because I know for a fact there's a civilization that is living beneath our feet, and probably the world sees it as a negative thing, or maybe demons. Maybe this is what religion people were talking about, hell, or probably demons. But these people are so their culture is so beautiful. If people learns about their culture, people would fall in love by the way they just look at you, the way they just, you can feel the vibration of the happiness in these people. And I understand the people that wants to stay there probably were hated by their family or living under a bridge, asking for money, feeling bad about themselves, never had a home. Probably these people give them the opportunity to live with them and to show them a culture that they never knew existed. And they grow their own food. It's amazing, Doc, the experience, what I saw. I still have the smell of that hay in my nose about how it smelled in that area. So it smells like a farm. Like if you go to a farm, it's amazing. And clay. It's like a mixture of farm and clay. So it's a beautiful feeling. When the king, we were asking questions about the king, how long he has lived there. He had contact for a long time. So he's probably really, really old, like probably like 400 to 350 around that range since the 1700s. He's been reigning in that area. And I know there's a couple of other kings around, but in that area, I got to talk to that particular king.
Well, while you were talking to the king and when the whole team, or when all 80 you were in the presence of the king, you mentioned earlier that you were wearing 22s. I suppose that's a caliber, handgun caliber. So, did the ant people take those away from you? I mean,
No,
how did you guys having weapons in front of their king?
no. They did not take it away. They feel everything, Doc. They know everything. Like they know the consciousness. They know why we came there, and they know why the reason why we were there, and everybody was tracking that it was safe. You could feel the safeness, and everybody is talking to each other in every situation. You hear them talking to you. Like they know what you're thinking. It's they feel you. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say, but they know, they feel you. They know that you're not a threat. And we felt that they was not a threat as well. We felt the same way about them. It's a feeling that you feel in this place that is amazing. It's different. The magnetic field of their heart, you feel it more than humans. It's different. It can make you cry, like tear up by the feeling that you feel. It's like a happiness that is overwhelming. So you forget about your weapons. You forget about everything that you want to live there. You want to stay there and be there. You get a happy sensation when you're around these people. Like you can't believe how they work together. You know how there's no problems. There's nothing. You see them happy. So when they see us, I understand what they feel when they see us. Because they never feel that fear, Doc. They don't know what fear is. They live in harmony. So they sensed it. So I felt that they felt that we were, scared. So that's why that sensation, they feel it. And so when we started feeling that nice vibe, right? That's why one of the reason the soldiers, they got a little bit mad that just the king wanted to talk to me, but nothing wrong was going to happen. Everybody, we were talking about it in our way back. That it was a different sensation that you feel in front of the presence of these beings.
Now, you mentioned a stream down there. Was that anything like the stream by that tree of life that you encountered in Florida?
This was actually in Florida, Doc. It was actually close by to that area. So it was similar, but it was different. It was a wooden root that was given this liquid that looked like oil, and it was given like a bluish white lighting that was kind of interesting. It was kind of cool that way that you see it, and it does not feel as hot as fire. So it is brighter than fire, but you don't feel the heat of it as much as fire. So it gives more light than heat.
So those lamps you saw, they had this kind of bluish white liquid from that river in them, and that was bioluminescent?
Well, I don't know what they had in these lamps. They were like more like torches. They look like torches instead of lamps. But they was not turning off. So you can do like this to the torch and you won't get burned. It's just light. It's really interesting. You feel like you feel hot, like the same temperature of your body. You feel it the same temperature of your body. You can put your hand on it and it does not burn you. How can I tell you this? It's different. It's a different kind of light, a different kind of fire that I haven't seen. I have seen it in one of the arcs, but it was contained. It wasn't like that you could feel. It's similar to the orbs when they come in and out, and the same lighting that they use. It's kind of cool. We saw a couple orbs as well coming in and out from different spots, but they were in high, like they're really high. So you can see light of orbs going left to right. And it was a beautiful feeling. It was a beautiful feeling. So we're heading back and we have that device. It's a healing device. So it's kind of cool. Yeah.
Now,
Cool.
I know you've said something, or people have described new healing technologies being mass produced on the moon for eventual public release. So is this device part of that, or is it something completely new and independent, kind of like initiative by the ant people to give surface humanity? And will it be something that we actually see?
I think it will be soon something that you'll probably see. And it's more with healing and age repair type of technology. It's not like yeah, you could say it's a healing and but it's more like to help you live longer if you have it around your house. So if you have it around your house, you can live longer. I don't know what it does. It cleanses your DNA, or I don't know what the hell it does, because your body is what, 75% water, is it?
Yeah, something like that. About 70%, I hear.
Yeah, 75% water, and then the vibration that this gives affects I think your pineal gland. That's that gland you have in your brain that has a liquid. So that's where your melatonin comes from, right? So it affects that, and it affects your whole body. So you feel a sensation, a vibration so beautifully when you hold this device. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
Now, you also said that the ant people refused to talk about the giant in the Florida cavern that you saw. Now, is that because of the seeds that were gifted that were then kind of taken out of the country, which was a betrayal of trust? Was that why?
Yeah, I think it was a effed up situation that happened, and I guess soon, we're gonna do a mission there. I feel that we're gonna go back to that cavern and check out what's happening to that giant, and they're gonna let us in. But for now, they just wanted us to back up a little bit from that area because they want to let naturally the giant wake up. They don't want the giant just to get messed around with and feel the vibration of humans that are not healed correctly. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say, because it sets the negative feeling. So I understand probably why he's there, because of the feeling that is there, that it surrounds. Yeah.
Right. Well, that makes sense. That the ant people don't want people being sent down to be in that same environment with the giant, who maybe have all these kind of negative, hostile, aggressive feelings. And so, you might be one of the few in the military that have the kind of frequency that is compatible with the giant. So is that, I know the ant people said that there would be a future mission, or that you would be involved in future initiatives. Might one of those be, like you just said, that you would go down and maybe you would be communicating with the giant?
When it happens, they just do it. They don't give me an exact date when we do it, but when it happens, it happens. But I got a feeling that it's gonna happen. I think the Ant King is gonna give a good word about it.
Were you given a name for the Ant King?
No name or nothing. That really got me. No name. They didn't not give no name. Nobody gave a name for nothing.
And what can you describe about the crown he was wearing?
The crown. Oh my God! It had green green, like diamonds. It had a big green diamond in the middle, right here in his forehead, signifying, for me, it looked like the third eye type of thing. And then on top of that green one, there was another small green diamond in the middle. So it goes up into his forehead and it goes up like this, right? And it wraps around the back of his head. And it has like they're all is green diamonds type of jewels that was on his head. He had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diamonds, and they're like huge. The one in his forehead was really huge, and it went more down. It looked like instead of going around, it did like the Batman, like it goes down, and then it has the diamond right there. So it looked really, really cool, really shiny, really nice.
And was the rest of it kind of like, are we talking gold or some other metal?
It was another metal. It was golden color. Yeah, it was a golden color, but it was like a whitish gold, but it was like a metallic color, like a metallic gold. But it was shiny. It was beautiful. It was a sparkling metal. Beautiful. I never seen a crown like that. Really nice. Really nice crown. Like you can see your reflection on the crown. Like you can see yourself. Like you can move your hands and you can see the reflection in the crown. That's how shiny it was. Chrome. It was like a chrome metal. It's really nice, really beautiful.
And his clothing, was it a big robe? Was it,
He had a white robe, and then he had like a featherish round thing that wrapped around his neck, and it was like a grayish and white, and it wrapped around, and then he had like a V-neck type of like what do you call that? Not a scarf, but his the cape. It looked like a cape, and went all the way down, and you could not see his feet. So it was like a white robe.
and how tall was he?
Like my height, a little bit higher than me. I'm 6 foot, so he was like 6'4", around there.
And the other ant people, the guards and all of that, they were similar height?
The guards were bigger. The guards were like 6'6". They were taller. They were more masculine, more stronger. The people that were there, they were a little bit taller than us. The people, the human, but there was humans that they were the same height as us as well, or smaller. It's like us, like different sizes. Doc, they have different sizes of heights. It's not a particular steady height. Everybody was different heights.
Well, any final things you want to say about that mission? Or you did say something about a moon mission or something that you could add at the end of this one. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
It was a quick mission. We got picked up by TR-3B. It was fast. We got there in like 30 minutes. We were already in the vicinity of the moon. I blacked out. So I know I was out for, it was a total of 30 minutes. And then the moon was there. But I probably blacked out. Do not know why I blacked out, but I blacked out in this mission. There's certain things I don't remember as much, but I know that we entered into this round door, and it's similar to what I sent to you about the Horizon project. I don't know if you got that I sent to you.
Yeah, the Project Horizon, that was the Army project to create a base on the moon that was created in the 1950s. Colonel Philip Corso was the first to reveal that.
1959. It was created. It is there, and it's still there. And I was there. I saw it. I was there in the air chamber. I remember that. It's small bits and pieces that I remember about this mission, Doc. I don't have the full remembering of this mission, but I remember me standing. I was standing, and when I was standing, I was just holding my hand up, and I was just telling people to go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward. It was a total of probably like 15 people, and they all had masks on, helmets. And I remember going in, eating a type of MRE, as that military grade food, and then I blacked out, and I saw a couple of these ant people as well there with our same uniform, but they don't have the antennae, they don't have the dreads, they cut it off. So they're bald, and they're working with us in a way to figure out what's going on in the arc of the moon. So this place was constructed near this arc that we have in the moon, this base that we have. And that was a reason to investigate more of this arc. So we know about this arc for a long time in the moon, and they're there to do an investigation on the arc, but they haven't had the access as the past year and a half that we have. So I was in this chamber and I was in a bunk, and then I don't remember coming out from the bunk, but we were in the arc. I remember closing my eyes, opening my eyes, and we ended up in the arc. And I remember seeing a ring, a golden ring that had something black coming out of it. Like it looked like water, but you can feel it, and it did waves. So it's like a black air, black smoke type of thing. And I remember going into it and breathing it, and it was like breathing fire, breathing if you were burning a lot of fire, like ash, like smoke, and it made everybody cough. It made me cough. It made the other guys that were with me coughing. I didn't know how many guys were with me. I couldn't see nothing. And then once we entered this ring that had this smoke type of thing, I closed my eyes and I blacked out again, and I opened it, and we were in this other planet that you could see like two moons. You could see two moons, and these two moons were so beautiful. And you could see on the first moon, it was like two same planets. But in the first moon, you could see vegetation in one side locked in with that planet, but the other side was ice. You could see clearly the tilt of the moon, and you could see ice on one side, the dark side, and then vegetation in the other side. So that moon is locked in just like our moon, but it has vegetation. So, and the moon behind it looked similar to our moon, but the inner moon had vegetation and ice. So it was in the type of Goldilocks zone to have, it was close enough to have vegetation. It had an atmosphere as well. So I looked at it, I looked up, and I saw those two moons, and the closer moon having the vegetation and far as well. And then I looked around, and we were like in a mountain. You could look down, you could see the valleys, beautiful, the mountains, you could see the lakes, you could see as far as you could see, beautiful forests. You could see different kind of creatures flying with like 4 wings. It was beautiful. Not 4 wings, but they were like they looked like it did not. They look like worms, but it was like flat worms, and they spread out like wings, and you could see them flying, but they were like a bluish golden color, and you could see them flying like in flocks. So it looked like flying like flat, huge looking worms, but you could see them waving out like flying. It was beautiful, and I closed my eyes, and I'm back to this smoke on the moon in the arc. And I close my eyes again, and I'm back into the moon chamber where that thing that I showed you. You could probably share it when you share this, what happened to me. I'll send it again to you. I was in a bunk, and I fell asleep with the other guys. I closed my eyes, and I'm back. I'm back on Earth. I don't even remember going back on the TR-3B. And I'm back on Earth. So I have a lot of blackout on this mission, but that's what I'm remembering so far. So if I remember more stuff, what happened on that planet and on the arc, I can call you up and say, hey, I know what happened, and we can do another interview about that. But that's just, I know this is happening to a lot of people. You know, they're going through these missions and they black out and they don't remember nothing, you know, and I think soon, right, that law that you were talking about, right, is going to come out. So that's quite interesting for this year.
That's the National Defense Authorization Act for 2023 that has a whistleblower protection for anyone involved in any UAP or unidentified aerial phenomenon or UFO project, both in the military or corporate contractors, that people can come forward and talk about that. So yeah, that's a really...
It's not only UFOs, it's experiences also, because everything ties into these. It's whatever is connected to the UAPs or UFO phenomena. So that's kind of cool. That's going to help a lot of us to come out, and yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Well, it's been some time now, so I want to let you go, JP. So any parting words you have for the audience about the AMP people?
Yes. Be blessed. Happy thoughts. Give out beautiful vibration and akuria mate to everybody. Akuria mate. Feel the peace and open up those beautiful gates of love to enter your heart and show you the happiness and the happy vibration that you feel. Or a love for everybody. That's all I want to express. Love.
Thank you, JP.
You're welcome, Doc.
You have been listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Join or start a conversation in the comments. Take the time to explore the vast library of best-selling books, webinars, and podcasts by Dr. Salla. Visit exopoliticstoday.com.